If you're looking for Magic cards, look no further than Flipside Gaming. They have all the latest Magic singles and product that you need to actually leave the house and battle in Magic the Gathering. And right now, if you would like to save 10% on your orders from Flipside Gaming, use the promo code CGB at checkout. That is promo code CGB. Welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today we're looking at a Fall of Thran Remorseful Cleric deck. Now, a little misconception with combos. A lot of people think that if you make a combo deck, you take 4 Fall of Thrans and you take 4 Remorseful Clerics, those cards that are your combo, and you shove them in the deck, and then you build everything around them to draw cards or find them. But when you run a control deck and a control package, you can win the game with a very small combo hidden in the deck. Much like Fight with Fire and Expansion Explosion won the Magic World Cup, we have Fall of Thran and Remorseful Cleric, just 2 of each, hanging out, but you get to do it a lot more than you think you should, and man is it exciting when you do. I will tell you straight up that against Control, this is not the deck you really want to play. Your only hope is to have a turn 2 Dawn of Hope that goes unanswered, and you put pressure on them with the tokens, the opponent reacts to it badly, and you resolve an Immortal Sun. That is, or a Fall of Thran. That's how you beat a Control deck, and it's not easy to do against good players. However, against Golgari midrange, against red mages, against white mages, against dinosaurs, against all kinds of other wacky stuff, you can do a lot of torture between Dawn of Hope, Orazca Relic, Fountain of Renewal, Revitalize, Settle the Wreckage, Cleansing Novas. It's very hard to play around all the removal that the deck has to offer and all the card advantage. And eventually you reach a state where you have a whole bunch of lands, because Settle made you get a whole bunch of lands, and you're trying to fight through, but then the opponent blows up your board, then they blow up all your lands, and they exile your graveyard with Remorseful Cleric. And now you have nothing I say, and it's a beautiful feeling. From there, Dawn of Hope does the job and wins as needed. It's a really fun deck. We're going to go terrorize the Mythic ranks with it. They'll never see it coming. Now that I have Mythic for the season, I can't fall below Mythic no matter how badly I play. They do give you a number. It tells you like what rank you are out of how many players. I'm telling you honestly, while I make this content, I do not care about that number. It's preseason. There are no additional rewards whether you're number 1 or number 2000. And because maybe someday they'll do special event invites and Pro Tour invites, Mythic Championship invites, online tournament invites based on that number, but until that is announced, I do not care what that number is. So I'm going to blow off a little steam from the try-hard of the ladder that got me to Mythic, and I'm going to have a little fun. I would recommend some of you do the same. And let's go out there and just see how many lands we can blow up and exile. We're on the draw. We have a pair of Fountain of Renewals, but no Dawn of Hopes. Remorseful Cleric, which is sort of our combo card. A Revitalize and a Settle. I don't know if I'm supposed to try this, but I will. I'm a glutton for punishment that way. I have to experiment. Somebody's doing some dinos? Dino droppings? Anyway. Let's do the Void. Oh, combo. So I guess we keep that. Might be very good against the dinosaurs. We do have to get to a lot of mana. And they have a drover, so right away they're off to the races. I suppose I'll get another fountain down just to get the clock ticking. Upwards, that is, by more turns. The opponent with more rampy critters, but missing a land drop. Alright. Hit me with some life, baby. And I suppose I will Revitalize. See if I could hit another scry land, but no. Alright. Opponent finds the land, hits the Sarkhan's Unsealing. Oh my lord. Phew. That's that can leave a mark, and I think that the right play then is to take away their drover and hope that they can't cast those big critters. We need to keep hitting land drops all the way up. And there is a Raging Regisaur doing an extra 4 damage to face. I guess I'll Revitalize. And there's a Nova. Nova's an interesting one. Can we still hit the land drop here? No. I think our life total is high enough. I can just sacrifice one of these and keep trying to hit that land drop. We need every land drop from this spot. And we miss. Arr! It happens, I guess. But man, is it tilting. And the alpha, they're coming on fast and furious now. All right, fountains, do your work. Off the top, it is the land. Let's Nova. I would rather hang on to the Settle the Wreckages and use them like right before I do my Fall of Thran trick, as giving the opponent a bunch of mana can cause you a lot of trouble. They can usually use it to do devastating things. That's how decks like with big monsters and cards like Banefire work. Well, I could put out the Cleric, but the odds are that they will shoot it. So I don't like that play. I'm gonna keep trying to hit my land drop then. Pitch that fountain. And draw Dawn of Hope. Well, if nothing else, Dawn of Hope, with given some time, will help us draw extra cards, which will set us up more. And another Drover joins the fray. I wonder if the opponent has something like a Carnage Tyrant hanging out in hand. There's a land. There's another land. And I suppose we'll play this and have Settle available, but also the ability to make a Dawn of Hope soldier token with lifelink. Opponent's not going to want to attack that. Or will they? I guess they haven't played Dawn of Hope too many times. And they kick it back. Perhaps we took all the wind out of their sails with that early Nova. And another Fall of Thran. It is getting close. 8 mana is the combo. We can also Fall of Thran them, Cleric them the very next turn, then Fall of Thran them again. Although that doesn't really work the way that you want it to. Field of Ruin would also help empty their deck a little bit first, but I don't think that's very important. I'll put it out anyway, just in case we decide to go that route. Here's an alpha, the alpha return. All right, this is where we settle. Yep, go get your land. Them holding back that elf is obnoxious. I want them with no mana, not some mana. I guess we can wait and hold off and see if they'll play into another Settle. We don't have to do the Thran right away. You can build it up. You can keep stoking it. Another Void. Scry, scry, scry. That's a good one to keep. We definitely have the City's Blessing at this point. We'll kick it on back. See if we can use another Settle the Wreckage here. A Huntmaster, sure. And no attacks whatsoever. Interesting. Let's make a dork. Opponent knows we could just block and draw a card, so that's probably a good reason not to attack. And we'll play another land, and I think I'll just keep building my resources. It certainly isn't hurting me to sit back for the time being. We're not in Banefire range. Fountain of Renewal keeps ticking up our life total. The opponent needs to do something more powerful. They're going for a Prey Upon. Alright. Got it. I could draw the card here, but then I wouldn't be able to have Settle, so I'll decline. Llanowar Elves. Tapping, making mana, not attacking. Here comes an Otepic Huntmaster. Alright, damage it is. Nice little game of cat and mouse we've got cooking. But make no mistake, we shall be the cat. Cats like lifelink for whatever reason in Magic lore. Another Settle. At some point we drop a Nova. Are we there? Opponent has to get through us at some point. Let's see, where you have 10, 11 mana. All right, then let's kick it on back, wait another turn, I think, maybe 2. No, let's get the Nova done. Our opponent only has 1 card left. Hiya! This is just to draw a card before we do it. And we'll end the turn and discard one of these lands. Here's Carnage Tyrant. Okay. Opponent came to play. They're not done yet. Let's decline to draw the card. We can't get our mana back to settle range if we do the Fall of Thran trick. So we'd take at least a hit from the Tyrant. So I think I will just draw the card then. We'll just wait on the Thran trick. We can do better. Give it time. Seal away, not really what we're looking for right now. Would love an Immortal Sun. That's the card that stands out to me as a really good top deck. Roar. No. Make it stop. All right. And is there a follow-up? No, but they do play out a land. Yes, yes, good. All right, my turn. We'll take the card. Dawn of Hope. Orazca Relic. So 8 mana does the trick, so we've got it. So let's add all the mana to the mana pool. And here comes the Thran. Now, there is something stupid with this combo. I've done it a few times. If you don't use full control mode and you add all this mana to your mana pool, it will prioritize the white mana, not the colorless mana. So watch out for that. So now 3 white mana we still want to have in our pool, not a bunch of colorless mana. There goes the lands. Here's the Remorseful Cleric. You don't actually have to sacrifice it to do this until the next, before the next trigger goes off, but I like doing it right away. And just send that message that I have Armageddoned you. Armageddon, an old card that destroyed all lands. And now Fall of Thran will bring back some lands to my side of the graveyard, but to my side of the battlefield, but not the opponent's. And that's going to be the scoop. This hand needs to draw 2 lands to be very effective, but I'll take a gamble that we can. We'll see what happens, of course. Our opponent on some mulligans. Let's see if they keep, and they keep to the top. And no Llanowar Elf. They're clearly doing it wrong. Green and blue. Are they a fog deck? Nobody plays Merfolk up here. Oh, somebody plays Merfolk up here. I guess somebody got to Mythic playing Merfolk. Exactly 1 person got to Mythic playing Merfolk. Awesome. And Shapers of Nature, here we go. And I'll just seal away the first thing I see. Slow this beating down. And we draw the land, so clutch. Drop that relic. So what does Shapers of Nature do after this? Well, for 4 mana, +1/+1 counter, and for 3 mana, remove a counter to draw a card. Fun little boat of options. Yep, here comes the Horde. Our opponent has 1 card left. And we draw Fountain of Renewal. I kind of think I'm supposed to play it, sack it, and draw just to try to get closer to casting Cleansing Nova. We could also use an Ixalan's Binding, which gets us more time as well. And it's a perfectly fine way to solve the Mistbinder problem, which does add the most damage to the board, 4 total damage as it is, and an additional 1 for every fish. And there's a Jade Bearer. So the hand is out. And we are ready to rumble with Cleansing Nova. We just need the land. So it's the classic, who will draw it? Can we get there? Not exactly, but we're sort of. We've got something. Let's see if the opponent's willing to move into this. Do they see it coming? Did they get to Mythic without being settled a few times? I think not. All right, there you go. And they kept the Shapers of Nature. So there's the land, right after we had to settle. Never settle. I mean, always settle. I mean, settle when you have to settle. I mean, who knows? You do you. We'll just put out this Remorseful Cleric here. So the combo's ready to go if we draw the land. I might have to take some bumps from Shapers here. It's okay. I think it's okay. We'll see. I've been wrong before. All right, drawing cards. I am not blocking. Okay, my turn. We draw the Void. Are you kidding me? All right, I'll keep a land on top for sure. Fall of Thran. Let's light up your land. If you can't land, you can't fight. Now they can make a big old Shapers of Nature. Pump it to 4, yep. Blow up those lands. And say go. See now what we can do. This was when I said in another game. Wow, look at that graveyard. Wild. When I said that you don't have to sacrifice the Cleric right away, this is a good reason. So that you can absorb an opponent's attack. Like this, block, and then sack and use the Cleric. Just saving us a little bit of life. And now they has no land. And let's get back the Void. Let's scry into something good. More land? I don't think I need more land. We're gonna get another 2 back next turn. So now we have 4. We could sacrifice the Relic to draw a card and gain 3 life. But I think for now we'll sit pretty. Alright, down to 4, my turn. A life from the fountain, a card from the top, 2 lands from the graveyard. And I guess we're destroying all creatures, all one of them. The last great hope of our opponent. And how much worse could it be? You have 1 land. I guess we could have a Dawn of Hope to start absolutely tearing it apart, but for the most part, looks like we've wrapped this one up. And let's see how the opponent wants to handle it. Do they want to try to play it out with our life total ticking up? With Ixalan's Binding on the Mistbinder? With so many lands in their exile pile? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 exiled lands. Are they just going to take it straight to Rope Town? Will we bathe in the salt of their tears? The 1 Mythic Merfolk player. derailed by the fall of Thran. From the magic of editing, you've been relieved of watching the opponent rope through all their timeouts, but this is their last timeout, roping down to 0. I bathe in their pain and their salt. They didn't get to Mythic to get Fall of Thran. That jank was supposed to happen back in Bronze. Alright, let's just kick it back to my turn. Let's work on finding a win con. See how long we can keep this from taking. And a Revitalize off the top, sure. Let's dig a little deeper. Alright. I guess I'll sacrifice this as well. And a Void. Well, we can try to use that next turn. And now we'll kick it back for another roping. And from the power of editing, again, behold the roping as it winds down to the very end. And that will conclude the game. This hand is on the draw. It has a nice mix of early stuff and a sweeper. I think it's an easy keep. Our opponent's giving us the look of Chandra, so I'm going to need some life gain spells. But at least we have the Seal Away and the Settle the Wreckage to slow down that initial creature damage if they're playing mono red. And we'll see what they think of their hand. And yep, looks like keeping. We are away. Green mana, it was all a lie. And more dinosaurs. Yeah, some people still play the dinosaurs, even in the Mythics. Just remember, it's probably not what they played to get here. It's probably what they played to cure the PTSD of having to play the same red decks over and over and over and over again to get here. I'll keep the Fountain. Fountain Dawn of Hope combo. Preparing to come online. Here's a Drover. Here's a Dawn. There's something to be said for playing the Fountain of Renewal to have one more life than we would with the Dawn line. The fact of the matter, though, is that mana efficiency is usually more important than one life. Usually. Not always. But in this case, we'll go for the mana efficiency. And then we'll hold up mana for the Seal Away. And let's see what the opponent does in the face of the combo. The great combo. They play a Llanowar Elf. They'll need to play another dinosaur if they want their Ripjaw, if they want their Drover to remain pumped if it attacks here. And it does. So here's Seal Away. Opponent posing like they have a Lightning Strike or a Shock. Something's holding priority here. So with their only dinosaur gone, the Drover becomes a 1/1. So we only have to take 1 damage. Isn't that lovely? Then Fountain of Renewal goes off. We can draw a card here, or we can hold up Settle, or we can hold up Revitalize and Settle, but I like drawing the card and saving those shenanigans for a future turn when the opponent has more things on the battlefield. So getting another Fountain of Renewal out here is much better to me than Revitalize, which if you play Revitalize with mana open, you can draw another card with the Dawn as well. And I think we'll end up doing that eventually after we hold Settle the Wreckage up on the opponent. And now that they have a Regisaur Alpha, holding up a Settle the Wreckage is much better. So we send a clear message. We decline, meaning that we have something to do with our mana. Then we play our land, then we pass, implying that we've got something else to do with our mana, which makes the opponent say, I don't want to run into Settle the Wreckage. There isn't a good way to hide the Settle. We sort of have to let all this happen, but then they'll probably send 1 creature, and then we'll Revitalize and draw 2, and it'll be great. And we'll work our way to Cleansing Nova. Alright, they sent 2 creatures, which is pretty nice. It is a decent Settle, but I think we'll just keep holding on to it, as the longer you wait to do that, the better. Giving your opponent land does give them cards they can use against you, and a second Settle does make it a little bit better. Here come the Fountains. We'll use 1 of them and keep holding 4 mana available as ominously as possible. But with all that life gain, we're kind of fogging in our own way. It's like being a fog deck without being a fog deck. And at this point, if the opponent's not damaging us enough, we're gaining 2 life, we're drawing extra cards each turn. It's a pretty tight lock. There's a Brontodon. That's a good card for the opponent. It can take out the Dawn of Hope, or it can take out the Seal Away. I would guess it will take out Dawn of Hope, as that's the card that can keep accruing advantage. But we'll see. It's up to the opponent. Okay, they want their Raptor back. It's not like it helps them attack through the settles, but well, let's see what they want to do. Maybe their plan is to charge in as if settle is not here. Who's attacking? Ooh, so plenty. All right. 4? Yeah, that's lovely. And perhaps the opponent won't anticipate settle number 2. As now they're down to, well, they've got the 3 dinos, but they have the Haste Giver, which, if they have Carnage Tyrant in hand, might be all part of their plan. But white doesn't care much about Carnage Tyrant. The only thing that Carnage Tyrant blanks is Seal Away. Well, I guess the Ixalan's binding too. Let's decline this. Draw again. We're hitting quite the pocket of land, which we're going to need to get away from if we wish to endure. And we're on 7 mana, so we're almost to the point where we can draw multiple cards with our Dawn of Hope and still leave settle open. Every turn that we gain from leaving settle open and the opponent being unwilling to attack into it is another turn cycle where we draw more cards. So there's a Ghalta. Yep, we've got that. I'm sure they're very excited. Ooh, I have Ghalta. Ghalta's here. Let's see what you do with Ghalta. All right, so 2 attackers. I think I'll seal away the Ghalta. Again, the longer that we hold the last Settle the Wreckage, the less attacking they can do overall. And 4 damage is not fun, but we gain 2 of it right back. It's not that big of a clock. All right, my turn. Now we have enough mana to draw 2 cards off the Dawn. Working our way to Cleansing Nova, working our way to Fall of Thran. And it's all land. We've had quite a run of that, but that's the way it goes. And there's the Nova just hanging on top of the deck. Let's kick it back over to our opponent as their demise is incoming. Well, would you like to attack? And who would like to attack? Everybody? Time to disappoint you. They saw that I kept a card on top, which implies it could be settle or it could be another board wipe, so it's a pretty good read to attack there. You gotta do what you gotta do. Unfortunately, it's not always pleasant. Now we've got all that land on the battlefield. Now the opponent lightning strikes us. You feel the spite, you feel the hatred in that lightning strike, don't you? All right, drawing into some cantrips. Here's a fountain. Just draw and go as we work our way to Fall of the Thran. Wipe out their lands. Call it a day. End step, let's revitalize, draw bonus cards. Keep it coming. So many fountains. So many fountains. Remorsefuls. Novas. And why not? Settles. And Arch. Let's play the Void. Let's keep scrying away. A Relic. I mean, it's extra mana, it's life gain. It is an extra card, which can be even more than that. But Let's not follow the Thran. It does get us ahead, though. It may as well stay. So, at the end of our turn, we have to discard 4 cards. So I'm just going to sort the basic planes we definitely don't need down to the end. And then we'll proceed to our end step. Discard 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, that shows you what that draw was like. And a Thrashing Brontodon can recover the Galta, which has to be on the opponent's mind here. And there you go. Galta returns. Ripjaw crashes in. We could settle the Ripjaw, but I think it's better just to take the damage. I'm also going to pitch a Fountain of Renewal to draw a card. We don't need this many fountains. And if we're going to Nova, I want to be able to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can draw a 1 extra card here. Ooh, that's a good one too. I wonder if I can play this and Nova. Alright, let's do this. Don't need to, I can play this and Settle. And now Fountain of Renewal is 0 mana. Woo! Alright, kick it on over. Let's see if the opponent can see the Settle through the Immortal Sun's cost reduction abilities. I suppose that they do. Well, I'm not taking the full 12. No thank you. So let's exile that. And see, does the opponent have more basic lands in their deck to go fetch? Yes, they do. Here come the fountains. Let's see what we can see. And from there, I'm going to take a break on the draws. I can definitely have access to more cards if I need it, but we're going to be getting plenty of bonus cards anyway. Another Nova. Let's drop some relics. And we're at 7 cards in hand, so I'll kick it back from here. But the lock is down. There's 20-some cards left. There's a Fall of Thran somewhere to really lock it up, but we could start trying to use Dawn of Hope's tokens instead. It's hard to start building an army when you have so many Novas in hand and you're against a dinosaur pile. Let's go ahead and lock that out with the Seal Away. Lightning striking face. Again, feels so spiteful. Let's pump out the critters. And I'll just decline the paying 2 to draw cards. We're going to be drawing so many cards as it is, and we have access to so many cards as it is, we can get better rates than paying 2. And there's the Fall of Thran. It happened. Alright. Well, let's start by attacking. We don't have enough ways to use all the mana this turn, so let's go ahead and get our bonus card. Then we add a whole bunch of mana to the mana pool. And we bring out the Thran. Land's gone. Now we bring out the Cleric. And the Relic. And we'll sack that. Exile your graveyard. So many exiled land. And now, let your misery commence. So many exiled lands. As if their misery hadn't already commenced. I know. I'm a cruel, cruel CGB. Reading the card. Yep. You will remember the day you were Fall of Thran, Remorseful Cleric. Declines. Don't need the bonus cards. Actually, we just don't want to deck at this point. And we'll grab the plains. I don't really need the scries from the Zhalfirin Voids. I need the white mana to activate the Dawn of Hope. And to put out a Remorseful Cleric. Hiya! Decline. End turn. And the opponent's still without land. Let's see, did they draw one? And that's the scoops. Scooping like ice cream, scooping like kitty litter. Our opener has the Fountain of Renewal, Dawn of Hope combo. Let's do it. Our opponent's snap kept. Can only be aggro red. So let's see if we can do battle with the red menace with this particular hand. Opening on Fountain of Renewal. We do still have to hit lands, which I'm pretty scared of, to be honest. It's my big concern at this point, as we won't hit lands and Runaway Steamkin will do a bajillion damage. If I play the Dawn of Hope here, I'm better off revitalizing, getting a card deeper to make my land drops. Plus we might get to seal away the Steamkin if the opponent attacks with it, which they often do. Steamkin easily the best early threat the red deck has. Remove as soon as you see it. Gimme. Alright, come on lands. Off the top. Let's do this. Yes. Yes, thank you. Alright, Orazca Relic. Onto the battlefield. Build up my resources. Opponent's like, what is going on? They have 6 permanents, none of them are creatures. They haven't cast any burn spells. I don't understand what they're doing. Oh my goodness, it just keeps coming. But can we top deck the land for the Nova? Not yet. Not yet, we cannot. But let's see what we can do with this Revitalize. Maybe we'll still hit our land drop for the turn, and we do. We could play out the Dawn of Hope, which would let us draw more cards starting next turn. But next turn we want to Nova, so Revitalize is the better play. We'll just hold it up though in case the opponent wants to go for some kind of broke, and the Revitalize can surprise them. Down to 8. Card in hand, passing turn. Here's another Revitalize. Keep it ticking up. Keep it recovering. Oh my, that's an Immortals. We could drop an Immortal Sun, but I think that that's a little greedy. I think you gotta play it conservative against red. It's the creature damage that normally ends you. The burn damage is much harder to kind of get all the way with. That's a Rekindling Phoenix. Thankfully, Seal Away can help with that card. And I think I'll take a hit from it. It would have been nice to draw a land there and been able to play a cheap Seal Away, but let's drop the Immortal Sun. Let's draw more cards now. The opponent with a Lava Runner. If they have a Lightning Bolt or a Shock in hand, they can do a lot of damage this turn. A lot of damage. A Banefire, that definitely counts. Down to 4 life. Perhaps being punished for playing the Immortal Sun, but the Immortal Sun will make it up to us. Don't worry, there's 2 Fall of Thrans off the top. How ridiculous. Here's another Relic. City's Blessing, so these are 3 life and an extra card each. How about Dawn of Hope? Can lay down one of those. Now we can sack this, use 2 mana to draw a card. I'm going to Seal Away now, because I can. And I already hit my land drop. No, I did not. So we're going to do this now. Sack for 3 life. Draw a card. And pay 2 mana to draw another card. Alright. Got a nice grip going. Got the Immortal Sun cooking. Got the City's Blessing. Got access to 3 more life and the Dawn of Hope. Our opponent Rekindling. I said Rekindling, but Experimental Frenzy off the top. You can't ask for much better. I'm going to take my bonus card. Alright. Now let's play this. Let's... Ixalan's Binding. Give me that Frenzy. Never again. Perhaps they're even drawing a Frenzy off the top here. Let that sink in for a second of pain. 7 life, though. Feels like a good spot. Let's seal away that Lava Runner. And is there a follow-up? There is not. Let's keep the bonus cards coming as we prepare to Fall of Thran this opponent. Settle the Wreckage off the top. Plains off the top. Let's gain 3 life and draw some bonus cards. More land. You gotta get through it, though. You have to battle through the lands. I could play another Dawn of Hope, but honestly, the triggers get so maddening to click through, I'm not going to. And the opponent doesn't even need a Fall of Thran to tell them that this game is over. We are on the play. Dawn of Hope, Seal Away, Remorseful Cleric, all 2 drops, and a Void. No Sweeper, but hopefully the Seal Aways hold it down, and if we're against control, I will keep the land drop. If we're against control, hopefully an early Dawn of Hope can pressure them. And it looks like we have to deal with red yet again. The red menace never dies. Do I sneak out the Dawn of Hope or do I use the Seal Away? I think I prevent as much creature damage as I can since I don't have a Fountain of Renewal or anything to fall back on just yet. Pyro. Alright. Well, it's not a Steamkin though. Could be worse. Let's start firing those Seal Aways and preventing that creature damage. No creature damage. One of the big keys against red. Shut that creature damage down. So we're also going to hold that Seal Away. And take it out, take him out. Let's see if the opponent fires some Wizard's Lightnings in response. No. 2 dorks down. Take them away. They don't run that many creatures. Usually 20 creatures in these decks. It's not the highest number you ever heard. Also, by the way, combo in hand. It would be really nice to have an Immortal Sun so that we could do it in the same turn. Otherwise, it's an 8-mana combo, which is quite a bit. Putting the Cleric out there and hoping it will live is not my idea of wise play. But there's Rekindling Phoenix, and right on cue, Settle the Wreckage coming off the top to give us some play against that Phoenix. And I'm not going to hold back and wait for more. I'm definitely going straight after the Rekindling Phoenix with the Settle, getting that thing exiled. I was pretty sure the opponent could have lightning struck their own Phoenix to keep it alive, but definitely opted not for that line. I could Fall of Thran. I'd rather wait. I think the combo is worth waiting for. Now we have the Dawn of Hope. We get that cooking. I bet the opponent points removal spells at these tokens, though. The idea of me gaining life and drawing cards is probably disgusting to them, but let's go find out. Well, I thought so. Well, because they have lifelink, they eat removal somehow anyway, so it makes perfect sense to cast the spells upon them, but we are 1 mana away from the combo. The opponent doesn't even know. What are the odds? The last 2 cards in hand. And there it is. So I'm going to attack first because I think my opponent will play some kind of burn spell on this. Now, once again, unfortunately, we have to go to full control after we get out of combat. So we have to go to control, hold full control. Tap all the mana, and then play the Fall of Thran, and then use the colorless mana so it doesn't leave colorless mana in our mana pool. It will do that. It is one of the weirdest things that auto tap does. I know there's a lot of hate for auto tap for this reason and that reason, but that's one of the just absolutely bizarro things. Destroy all lands. lands. Opponent says, okay, I don't need lands. Well, you did. And now you don't get any back, but I do. Checking the graveyard, putting it together. Hey, a mountain off the top. Let's get back some of our fallen lands. We have got the Zhalfirin Void for that sweet scry value, which for some reason gets me more excited than most things than it should. That's for sure. Gets me much more excited than it should. And now we can kick it on back. Another land isn't really needed since the fall will take us all the way back up to 6, which is pretty fine. And now let's start the Dawn of Hope train again. Another Dawn of Hope off the top. That's not the greatest, but what can you do? I suppose I'll play it because I could draw 2 cards if this token connects, and if this token does not connect, I just make another and threaten the same thing next turn. I'd rather have the cards than the tokens. Yep, the shocks continue. No tokens. And here's a Lava Runner. But because we exiled the graveyard, it's only a 1/2. I guess I'll play out the Fountain. I don't need to attack with this to draw 2 cards. Now I have the Fountain to draw 2 cards every upkeep if I want to, as well as gain more life on the red deck. The opponent is working on rebuilding. They have a treasure map. Okay. Well, you gotta fill those flex spots somehow, and I guess our opponent just wanted to be the better Frenzy deck. I understand, Frenzy's fun. There's the life gain. Draw that card. Nova, long way from needing you at the moment. And a Revitalize and a Settle. Let's see if we can hit a land drop with Revitalize. Well, Ixalan's Binding's okay. And no attacks. None necessary. Here's a map doing map things. They scry to the top, so you've got to be thinking it's land. Well, they've drawn into the 3rd land. Maybe it's a Chain Whirler. Draw that card. It's a relic. Decline from there. I think I just... I think we can Ixalan's Binding this. Just say no. Just say nah. How about we don't? How about you don't get value, Red Mage? And we'll just keep kicking it back. Tightening the noose. Trying to find the Immortal Sun, really. That's the thing that would take it all over the top. I guess the opponent kept a Magical Firebrand on top. Don't know how I feel about that. Decline the next one. There's another fall. Falls on falls on falls. Relic, we can sack you for life. Or we can keep you around. I guess keeping it around doesn't have a high cost at the moment. And you could say the opponent's rebuilding right now, and you wouldn't be wrong, but they're also rebuilding from such a worse position than, like, one of the things about the red, what they really need is they need to be there early. Because while you're getting set up, you're not as much of a threat. But once you have all the pieces clicking and all the mana and all the cards, it becomes a lot harder to dispatch anybody. And these triggers are going to get bonkers. I think I'll start declining and make more creatures. There's the Immortal Sun. We found it at last. Drop the Immortal. And we'll drop a Fountain of Renewal. For free. Ah, it feels so good. I don't know why. Here comes the face. Here comes the lightning strikes to face. Yep. Fighting it out till the end. Bravo. All right, next up, a few triggers. How many cards do we want? I'm just going to decline them and focus on making creatures now. You can really deck yourself, or you can really spend too much time drawing cards if you're not careful. Oh my lord. Why not? 6, 7, 8, 9. Do I Nova them? No. Let's work on settling them, getting the land back out of their deck to Fall of Thran it again. It'll be fun. You can also make 2/2s on command with the Dawn of Hope, thanks to the Immortal Sun now. Alright. Let's see how the opponent responds to that. Hi, yeah. So they let the blocks happen instead of removing the creature's pre-block, which you can do. Sometimes you have to turn on full control mode to do it, but you can remove the creatures before they block, so the opponent could have still done damage this turn. Just something to keep in mind if you're ever in that situation. The Dawn of Hope grind. So many triggers. Another binding. We can save that for Experimental Frenzy if we need it. And you're gonna run out of lightning someday. Someday. Alright. Crank them out. And now they're doing it before blocks. Good job. How many more do you have? Do I get to block now? Oops. Yeah, just hit the control button if you want to access that window between the blocking part and after the creating of the creature part. So much lightning, so much shock. Oh my goodness, the amount of burn is insane. We'll be here a hot minute. Just forgive me while I try to think of banter to fill the clicking that I have to do. There's a cleric. So I say we settle this opponent. If, you know, we can get them to keep attacking. I say we settle them. And then once we settle them, we Fall of Thran them again. And I'm sure they don't want to play through that. Aw, they're not going to do it anymore. Alright. Makes sense. I guess they just ran out of lightning bolts at the wrong time for us. For our Fall of Thran. For our Fall of Thran hopes, that is. And now the part in the upkeep where we get through this again. Just wait till the tokens start attacking. Oh man, the fourth fountain. Not like this. Hiya! Okay. That has to be just about it for the lightning. Triggers, triggers, decline, decline. Just make more of them. Fountain for free. Relic for 2. So much life, so much power. No reason to fall them when they're only on 3 lands and no cards, and they finally have decided they must scoop it up. I hope you enjoyed these Fall of Thran shenanigans. Just terrorizing the Mythic universe by blowing up all their lands, something I'm sure they never thought could happen to them. And I hope that you will give it a try yourself. It's a little bit fun. I'm not saying it's good against control, but I'm saying it's pretty fun when it goes off. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I see you in the next video. And I, as always, will see you in the next video. Goodbye. My YouTube channel is proudly supported by HauntedFlower.com, shipping officially licensed apparel anywhere in the world, and now featuring Magic the Gathering apparel and accessories. If you use the promo code CGB at your checkout, you can save 10% on any order. That's the promo code CGB at checkout on HauntedFlower.com. That's HauntedFlower.com.